Hi everyone, welcome back to our video series for the new digital SAT and the verbal section. Let's take a look at what question we have for you today. All right, so looking at the question, we can tell that this is going to be a conclusion question. We're trying to complete the text most logically, so that means not bringing in any information that hasn't been supported by the passage, just concluding the information that's been given to us. So looking at the passage, birds of many species ingest foods containing carotenoids, pigmented molecules that are converted into feather coloration. Coloration tends to be especially saturated in male birds' feathers, and because carotenoids also confer health benefits, the deeply saturated colors generally serve to communicate what is known as an honest signal of a bird's overall fitness to potential mates. However, Schultz and others have found that males in several species of the tanager genus use microstructures in their feathers to manipulate light, creating the appearance of deeper saturation without the birds necessarily having to maintain a carotenoid-rich diet. These findings suggest what? So again, we always kind of want to go back with these and figure out what is it that we just read, like what is the main idea, what can we kind of conclude from all this information that's been presented to us. So we're talking about these birds and kind of how they kind of portray themselves to mates. And in relation to kind of ingesting these carotenoids, as we talk about, which impacts their saturation of their feathers, that kind of confers health benefits, essentially. So the more carotenoids they eat, the healthier they look because their feathers become more saturated in color. And that is generally considered to be known as an honest signal of a bird's overall fitness to potential mates. Right, so that's kind of the background part. But then we have that this researcher and others have found that males in some species use microstructures in their feathers to manipulate light, creating the appearance of a deeper saturation without the birds necessarily having to maintain a carotenoid-rich diet. Okay, so kind of we can tell from this second half of the passage here, kind of chunking it is a great way to go, that we have kind of the situation up top of the way that things actually should go, but then that these species in particular have found a way to kind of go around that and have used these structures in their feathers to manipulate light and look more saturated without having actually eaten these molecules, which were important for their health. So what does this suggest for the overall sort of situation going on here? Looking at our choices, which one would be the best for this question? The answer for this one is going to be D. Okay, so we have a male tanager's appearance may function as a dishonest signal of the individual's overall fitness. So kind of the key word in this one, which reflects in the passage, is dishonest. So we have kind of a lot of words that we've already pulled out in the second half of the passage here about how they're using these microstructures to manipulate light, create the appearance of deeper saturation without the birds necessarily having to actually eat the molecule that it's talking about here. So it's definitely dishonest because essentially they're trying to manipulate their appearance in order to appear more appealing to mates. So it's definitely the idea of dishonest signal of the individual's overall fitness here. So that really sums up this passage really well. Again, kind of drawing the first part and the second half together to figure out how they're related. So D is definitely going to be our correct choice here. All right. Follow us for more content on the new digital SAT.